Someone was asking me about Rescue Ace just a minute ago. And I think I know why you're asking this, because I glanced at this morning. The newest OCG metagame report has some stuff I quickly want to talk about and look at, because I've only seen the breakdown. I haven't looked at anything else. But apparently, chat, Rescue Ace in the last 2 weeks has been the most played or most successful deck in the OCG. Even more, keep in mind, this deck has more representation than Purely, and Purely already has the custom rank 2. Purely is a custom deck in the OCG, because they still have everything at full power, and they have the new XYZ that's completely busted, and the new trap card. I don't know if they're using that. Probably not. Anyways, Purely is insanely strong in the OCG, and they're playing Rescue Ace. 2 of those tops are Vlad. Really? Is Vlad in here? Oh yeah, he was there. Yeah, I saw that. So anyways, the decks that are being played in the OCG right now: Rescue Ace, which was a surprise to me; Purely, which was not a surprise to me; Runic, which I think is Runic Stun, which is Troll Despair; Branded is still here. They have 3 circulars, so there's no surprise Mathemic is here. Adamancipator, Tearlaments, they can't let go. Kashtira, they can't let go. Super Heavy Samurai is... I don't remember what their state is in terms of hits on the ban list on Super Heavy Samurai. I don't know if they already did something about it or not. I forgot. I feel like it's still full power. It's still full power, yeah, okay. So they're still not using it. I do think one thing that's worth noting here is that currently in the OCG, the decks that are doing the best, I think, are some of the decks that are the best against Maxi in general. So, like, a lot of the decks down here are, like, playable, but I think they have less success rate, because these decks down here, except for Vanquish Soul, but all those decks down here suffer way more from Maxi than those decks up here. So, yeah. Let's look at some deck lists. The problem is, chat, I just noticed. I don't know what any of those cards do. I just forgot about all of those. I don't have the memory of those cards. I just know that. I just remember that, like, all of the, like, the big thingy. I think this is the big Turbulence guy, which is the one that sets like 4 different Rescue Ace cards from your deck, and you play one of all the ones because of that, I think, except for Emergency, which is apparently good. Which is the new ones that we don't have yet. Emergency is new, I think. And one of those, right? There's 2 more cards, right? Let's read this above. Rescue Ace could easily disable the opponent's X Purely Noir using Rescue Ace Impulse. As written in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card database, Rescue Ace Impulse first effect is an effect that's applied to both players. Thus, even as a monster that is unaffected is selected, that monster's effect on the field cannot be activated this turn. The opponent could respond with Noir's effect by targeting Impulse, but Impulse's second effect could be activated in a chain to attribute itself as cost to special summon a machine Rescue Ace monster from your deck. The core of Rescue Ace's disruption comes from Rescue Ace Turbulence effect to set up 4 Rescue Ace quick play spells from your deck. As such, the opponent would use Effect Veiler or Impermanence to negate Turbulence's effect. Rescue Ace could first special summon Proxy Magician and use its effect to fusion summon Mud Dragon of the Swamp before summoning Turbulence to make it fire to make it unable to be targeted. Okay, so their game plan still remains the same, right? Their game plan still remains the same. You just summon Turbulence, set 4, and in order to make that happen, you make it untargetable by summoning a Mud Dragon first. Which is kind of crazy that they are going for all those... through all the hassle. They're going through all the works to summon a Proxy Magician to make a Mud Dragon, which is an investment of 3 monsters, right? You need to invest 2 monsters to make Proxy, and then you use the Proxy and 1 more monster to make Mud Dragon, I guess. So you're investing 3 monsters just to make sure your Turbulence resolves. That's how powerful Turbulence is. I mean, it sets 4 cards from your deck, so it kind of makes sense that is your choke point. So you were You're protecting your choke point at all costs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know if this deck will be good or not. I personally am not the biggest fan of the archetype because I don't like the idea of playing this many one-offs that I don't think you want to draw them. You want to set them for free. I don't love that idea, but I guess the deck is somewhat powerful now. I mean, I'm looking at it and it's got room for some tech cards. You know, we have like, what do we have here? 10 hand traps, 2 call to buys. We have some room. Okay. Apparently it's solid. You use Regulus because you have machines in the deck? Sure, yeah. Free Omni Negate sometimes. I wonder why it's 1. Because I don't know if they can search it. I'm not sure if they can search it. I think one thing... Here's the standard 1-card combo. Okay, hold up. Let me... Airlifter, add emergency. Special summon Hydrant from the deck. Hydrant effect, add Turbulence. Turbulence, banish. Sets 4. Wait. Oh, okay. You can activate it immediately. I was confused for a second because okay. Okay, my bad. Okay. That is a impressive. That's impressive. It's an impressive combo for 1 card, I have to say. I have to admit. But I think what's even more important to note here, and that is why I think this deck is particularly, like, why they like it in the OCG, this combo doesn't require you to really play into Max C at all. Right? Like, you've special summoned 3 times, and the last special summon can even be optional. Like, you don't have to special summon the Preventer. So theoretically, you can really go plus a lot with just 2 special summons. And I think that is one of the reasons why they like it. Now, that also means that I'm not sure how good this is in the TCG, right? Because maybe we don't have Max C, so those type of concepts are a little bit worse for us, but interesting. And then purely is I was expecting this deck to really take off because I think the new XYZ, this dark XYZ over here, I thought was gonna make this deck pop off like crazy. It's basically it looks like it looked before, honestly, and it's still doing really well for them. It's still doing really well, so yeah, it's a good deck for them. I'm just wondering whether it's going to be good for us when we get the XYZ again. I really hope it will. Oh, they're smart. The OCG is smart. They're not playing Gimmick Puppet. Very smart. Nice. Oh, but they're siding Edo. Never mind. I take that back. Oh, oops. Oh, okay. I mean, look. OCG format right now, it feels like it's healing a little bit. It feels like it's healing a little bit. Like, I've definitely looked at OCG meta breakdowns beforehand, and it felt a lot more like Troll Despair, right? Like, it was a lot. It used to be a lot more like Adamancipator, Super Heavy Samurai, Kashtira over and over and over again, right? You know, like these decks still exist. These decks still exist, and Runic Stun at 9% is kind of crazy, because I assume most of this is Runic Stun, because for some reason, the OCG refuses to play Runic decks with, like, any sort of combo potential. They all freaking play Runic Stun every time. They refuse to believe that Runic can be used as a combo deck. But anyways, a lot of the decks here, I mean, Rescue Ace is looks like a cool deck in my book. It's all right. Purely is fine in my book. Branded is fine in my book. The current iteration of Tearlament for them is also fine in my book. Vanquish Soul is cool. Dragon Link is cool. They have a couple cool decks in the OCG right now. I think their metagame is a lot more healthy than it used to be. Even though they have Maxi, yeah. Still not, yeah. So yeah, oh yeah, 20 Runics. Out of the 20 Runics, it was 19 Runic Stuns and 1 Naturia Runic Giga Chad. One of them. Which is crazy, because Naturia Runic for them is basically full power, right? Like, that was a top tier deck for us, pretty much. Like, absolutely, you can't really deny that Naturia Runic was like a really good deck for us. And they pretty much have the entirety of the deck legal. They're just not playing it. I mean, it is worse against Maxi than other decks. Yeah, Maxi does have an impact. I mean, but they're still playing decks like Adamancipator, right? And Adamancipator is awful into Maxi as well. But either way, it is what it is. It's just, to me, sometimes it feels like the OCG just refuses to play the Runic cards in a way that were not intended to, right? Because, like, yeah, Runic was intended to be a deck out deck. And they're like, that's how I'm using it. I'm not using it in another way. I'm not using it. If I play Runic, I have to deck my opponent out, because that's what they are trying to do. They're playing lore accurate Runic decks. That's what it is. But playing like full Super Heavy Samurai as full combo decks, that's fine. You know, that's all. That Hellapog. Hey, Super Heavy Samurai playing like 10-minute turns, that's cool. Runic doing combo, that's cringe.